This is the hardest I've ever laughed at this stupid show. Well, I'm going to talk about eco-terrorism.
Got too excited about jorts.
I am leaving now with my Roomba or your blood on my hands.
I'm back on my bullshit.
What is meme if not air horn persevering?
No, this is not a family show.
And I quote, many American titties.
Why'd you have to bring Dane Cook to this, Andrew? No one wanted that.
Oh, you guys are not ready for what I've got today.
And I've apparently hit the very end of my attention span.
Give me like 30 seconds. I'm looking for rhymes.
Hello and welcome to Debate This, the show where no one is right, but someone is definitely wrong. In this show, we talk about comic books, video games, and how in the week since I wrote these show notes, this bit has changed from a joke making fun of Game Freak and Pokemon Legends Arceus to this meta joke of praising it as the best Pokemon experience since that summer we all played Pokemon Go.
Wow, that joke had layers.
Yeah.
It did have layers, and I feel like I want to talk about Pokemon Legends a lot, and we can probably do it in the after show.
You know, we can hold a lot of this for the after show.
It's my favorite game that I also hate.
It's so much fun. And I
Seems like what everyone is saying.
Every criticism about it is valid, but it's also so much fun that like I can't even joke about the criticisms of it.
Yep.
I'm having such a good time playing it, guys.
Same and same.
So, gentlemen, we live in a post-movie star era. This is not my idea. This is one that's been floating around the blogosphere since MCU became an acronym that even your grandparents know. But it's the idea that there aren't really actors that sell a movie by themselves anymore. Long gone are the days where putting Arnold Schwarzenegger's name in bold font or George Clooney's chiseled jawline on a poster will guarantee a box office success. We still have very popular actors and actresses who we love to see play silly games with Jimmy Fallon on late night, but no one is planning midnight viewings of the next Chris Evans joint if he's not carrying a round, indestructible shield with him.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, case in point on this one would be Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Dolittle after he finished Endgame.
Wow.
That's an excellent example.
That almost was a Dr. Dolittle joint, but I don't know if enough people saw it for that bit to land, thus solidifying my point.
Huh.
But the movie star is not a completely extinct species. There remains one man who only needs to cock a quizzical eyebrow and flex his oily muscles for us to come running to see a 2-hour action-filled romp that's fun for the whole family. I am, of course, talking about Dwayne The Rock Johnson, who recently teased that he will be starring in an upcoming video game movie.
No, listeners, you did not have a stroke.
No, that was right.
There are a lot of
real
quotes in that name.
That was Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Repairman, man.
So to help me figure out what, in fact, The Rock is cooking, I am joined by pop culture detectives Matt Rampage Cole, Andrew Doom Henderson, and Todd Jumanji Thomas.
I'm going to make the joke in a couple of sentences, but I really love the Rock Rampage movie. I love the Rock Rampage movie and how it sounds like Andrew loves Pokemon Legend Arceus. So I'll go out there and say that Rampage is the Pokemon Legends Arceus of rock movies, and I'll lay that down. However, I'm pretty happy that you gave me that nickname, Kyle. Thanks.
Oh, that was on purpose.
I would like to move that all three of us just keep these nicknames forever. Like, I'm also perfect with Andrew Doom Henderson. I have no qualms.
Todd, how do you feel about Jumanji?
No, I'm good with it. I'm only Jumanji in the sense that I want to appear out of nowhere as though I've been living in the woods for 20 years and say, what day is it?
What year is it?
Can I just say that I saw the Rock Jumanji movie in theaters twice. Once because I was like, really? And a second time because I was like, yeah, I mean, okay. Like,
really?
It was good.
Everything I know, the first one.
A lot of people have said that, yeah.
The first one is a fun movie.
Yeah.
I can't speak for the second one as much. I haven't heard as much about that, but like everyone I know who saw the Rock / Jack Black vehicle Jumanji loved it.
Didn't one or both have Harry Styles in it? Was that a thing?
Maybe in the second one, because I didn't see it. It would have to
be the second one.
One or both had at least a member of One Direction in it.
The second one feels like it needed that stunt casting.
Yeah. The first one was the first non-Marvel thing that I ever saw Karen Gillian in. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to hear Matt talk about Rampage as the only person who's ever seen Rampage.
Maybe in the after show, Todd, I'd love to talk about Rampage at length.
This is going to be a 4.5 hour after show for an hour and a half episode. So far, all we know about Mr. The Rock's upcoming project is that it is, quote, one of the biggest, most badass games, and, quote, one that he's played for years. Based on that information and Dwayne's filmography, what video game adaptation do you think he will star in, and as what character? Matt, start us off. As the only fan of The Rock's The Rampage, start us off.
So, Kyle, and others in attendance, let's talk about this The Rock interview.
Matt's starting this like a PowerPoint presentation, and I'm horrified.
I'm comfortable. I'm ready. Go for it.
Listen, this is going to be weird. I've got a weird energy today.
I know.
Anyway, you correctly referenced the quotes of biggest, most badass game and played for years, but I went back and read the full interview, and I think there's another The Rock quote that we need to acknowledge. To quote the Dwayne Johnson directly, "Of course we're going to do right by our gamer friends, but we're really just going to make a great movie." Now, as a fan of previous game-based The Rock vehicle Rampage, I think I know what this quote means. See, it's been proven that Mr. The Dwayne Johnson is a master of portraying personified player characters in movies that are video game in name and Easter eggs alone. So, with that in mind, in 2021, prolific award-winning Indian-American filmmaker and actor M. Night Shyamalan introduced the world to a beach that makes you old. This summer, he will introduce you to a rock that makes you imperialist. From the team that brought you beloved feature presentation, The Last Airbender, comes M. Night Shyamalan's Sid Meier's Civilization, featuring Dwayne The Rock Johnson as both humanity's last hope and its first.
And who is humanity's first and last hope, Matt?
Only hope. Yeah.
Why most of that?
Yeah. Of all the things I know about you, my friend Matt Cole, I would not have guessed you're going to pitch Civilization, the game, to us. Nope. That's really actually pretty low on the list.
By the looks at Matt's face, he didn't expect this either.
Yeah.
Nope. Okay, so when I was trying to come up with an answer for this question, the joke M. Night Shyamalan's Sid Meier's Civilization came into my brain, and I couldn't get away from it.
It's been a Mad Lib since then.
We're doing a Trapped in Amerisaur.
Exactly, we are. Here we are. M. Night Shyamalan's Sid Meier's Civilization.
Matt, I hate to ask this a third time, but you haven't told us what character The Rock will play, which is part of this question.
No, Kyle, that's the thing I have.
Have you?
I think he's M. Night Shyamalan?
No, he is portraying a personified player character.
Oh, okay. I see.
Good.
He is you, Kyle. We are all of us The Rock.
Playing Civilization. Got it. Okay.
It's so stupid.
It's incredible.
It's not any stupider than Rampage. Andrew, go ahead.
Yeah, so when we think of Dwayne Johnson, aka The Rock, as an actor, I feel like everybody immediately thinks of his action movie credentials, like in the Fast and the Furious movies, or the second live-action G.I. Joe movie, which I would like to remind you, in addition to the Rampage movie, there were 2 G.I. Joe movies, the second of which Dwayne The Rock Johnson starred in. But there's been one genre, guys, that Dwayne Mr. Rock Johnson has been a leading man in for nearly 15 years. Guys, The Rock is a family man.
I mean,
that's right.
He is.
He literally and figuratively.
His first venture away from Scorpion King was what? The Tooth Fairy?
Since his debut. Nope. Since his debut as NFL quarterback Joe Kingman in The Game Plan.
Plan.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
2007's The Game Plan. Mr. Johnson has dare I say, a rock-solid career as a children's movie icon.
And he was also in The Tooth Fairy not long after that.
That
Yeah, a
came
couple years later.
You know what's amazing is in early The Rock appearances, he's kind of small, still large compared to his other actors at the time.
I would give you The Rundown. I mean, that was
Rundown.
Yeah.
That was a good Rock movie, and he was not a small character in that one.
Well, that's the thing. Like in the early 2000s, when The Rock was The Rock on WWF, he wasn't a Dorito. Like he was super cut, but he wasn't.
Yeah, he wasn't the biggest dude.
Yeah, he wasn't a hulking monster.
I think I actually remember from around the time of The Rundown and The Tooth Fairy, he had
and Walking Tall.
He spent the time most actors would bulking up, bulking down. There was a 5-year span of his career where he like would go on interviews and be like, "I'm too big. I've been debulking," and then
he became closer to human proportions.
Yeah, and then he threw that aside and was like, "No, how big can you make me?"
I mean, you know what they say:
eating 3 pounds of fish a day.
You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
All right. Well, regardless of all of that, I want to pitch to you guys that I think this whole biggest and most badass quote thing is actually kind of a red herring. I think he is under the thumb of the studio, and that The Rock's next video game movie is 100% most definitely a kids movie. Now, guys, what video game franchise screams baby game for babies more than the Kirby franchise?
Oh boy, you're evoking some internet ire today, Andrew.
Hey, I love Kirby, but it's a baby game for babies. So, boys, get ready to feast upon the cavernous maw of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as he stars as Kirby in the film adaptation of Kirby: Right Back at Ya, coming to your nearest dollar theater and/or streaming live on Crackle.
Not even the big character in that franchise, King Dedede, but the tiny pink puffball.
No. It's because we're doing an animated movie. It's an animated movie. The Rock has provided his voiceover talents in a lot of things. May I remind you of his role as Maui in Moana, which everybody unilaterally loves, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Fair enough.
So let me just talk a little bit about Kirby and why I think this fits The Rock so well.
Please.
And not as King Dedede, but actually as Kirby. Now, at its core, Kirby is a story about an alien who will stop at nothing to protect and defend the residents of his home Popstar. He storms King Dedede's castle all by himself to take back the food stolen from the citizens. He scales a mountain to face off against the monstrous bird Dynablade, who had been terrorizing the town. Kirby is determined in a way not even like Link and Mario are. Kirby games, on the other hand, are all about his copy abilities, his powers. His power to inhale enemies and copy their abilities gives him a unique edge. In short, guys, a Kirby game is about drive. It's about power.
Kirby. Oh my god!
I will not be part of this.
Kirby stays hungry, yet he devours.
How did we get
How did he slip this by us, guys?
No, how did we get this?
I did it!
Before
I did it!
The thing that gets me is that not that you put the quotes from Rock's rap song, is that you did it before ever quoting the Kirby Right Back At You theme song. I really thought we were going to get a Kirby. That's the name you should know.
I told you guys this episode was going to be an arms race.
He did.
Wow. I have been chasing the dragon on There's a Snake in My Boots since we did that stupid Witcher episode, and you did it, man. You did it. Oh, wow.
All of our listeners are so mad at what we've allowed you to do. I'm angry
that I set this up, allowed it to happen, and didn't even see it coming.
No, you didn't.
I take time out of spending time with loved ones to do this podcast, and here we are listening to Andrew do this to us.
I was up until 3 a.m. last night.
in a cold sweat.
Bloodshot. 17 cups of coffee in.
You just got the lyrics to the Rock song and a picture of Kirby and then a question mark in between the two.
That's not entirely untrue. Maybe we should move on.
God,
Andrew, one last question
now.
before we do move on. Is Kirby going to look like Kirby unaltered, or is he going to have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's stupid face superimposed on the pink
Yeah.
puffball.
Look, Kyle, I thought a lot about this, and I honest to God thought about coming in here to say dating and saying like, nah, Rock's just gonna wear a pink sweatshirt and be like, hey everybody, I'm Kirby. We're not doing that. As much as I personally, Andrew Doom Henderson, want that, we're not going to do that today. It's going to be a big budget animated film. Kirby is going to look like Kirby.
Okay.
He will not have a cleft chin, although I also really want him to have a cleft chin.
Yeah, same.
I am trying to pull my own personal emotions away from the project to ensure that it can be the moneymaker that it should be.
Can we settle on a middle ground where he at some point, it's a meta joke, inhales
Matt is losing his mind.
This is the hardest I've ever laughed at this stupid show.
It's so dumb.
Can we have an in-show meta joke where he inhales the Rock and briefly does have the cleft chin and super high
Well, he
eyebrow?
does get the power of Rock, so I think we can make
God.
that work.
All right.
Stone is one of the most iconic abilities that Kirby gets.
I think that's the bit is he does his down B, becomes a stone, and his face kind of looks like the Rock.
I think that's here's what it is. That is the promo that much like what Ryan Reynolds was doing for Deadpool. That's the promo that The Rock releases on YouTube.
That's our teaser
like
trailer.
8 months before.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my God. That broke me, dude.
Yeah.
Todd,
Holy smokes.
I have to unfortunately put you in the unfortunate situation of following that.
That's fine.
Todd, what game is The Rock talking about?
Yeah. Hey, Kyle, what do you think would make the best movie adaptation of a video game featuring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as the lead?
Are you asking
It
me?
doesn't matter what you think would make the best movie adaptation of a video game featuring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as the lead. Because I actually have that answer right here, Kyle. So Kyle, okay, so I have it under good authority that The Rock has been actually playing as Link, the savior of Hyrule, for decades now, in the comfort of his oversized rock chairs. And it is very exciting that The Rock is going to bring the Legend of Zelda franchise to the big screen. So with that, The Rock's got a wide breadth of roles under his belt with more to come, but his biggest things have been that of playing anti-heroes. So prime examples, like the long-awaited crown jewel of the DCCU, Black Adam, this year. Everyone loves that movie that is finally coming. And other notable anti-hero, Hobbs, in Hobbs and Shaw of the Fast and Furious franchise.
Everyone's favorite character, Hobbs.
We could all argue Maui is an anti-hero as well, if we're
I'll
going
take it.
down that road.
That's great. That's 3.
He played the anti-hero that jumped off the building in The Other Guys.
Yeah, he sure did.
Now, Matt, when you said he played the anti-hero that jumped off the building, I thought of 3 or 4 different Rock movies where he has jumped off a building.
That's the joke, Todd.
Yeah. Well, okay, so the point here is that he is going to be starring in a Legend of Zelda movie video game that finally puts the Triforce of Power on the big screen, because Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is going to portray Ganondorf in a Dorfin origin story.
I was real worried you were going to have him play Link, Todd.
Link, wouldn't that be good?
It would.
Just this bulky man.
Playing the twinkiest
Hello, I'm Link.
character to exist.
Zelda, I found the Master Sword.
Well, the thing is that if and when we do cast Link for this, Link has no speaking roles, and so until Chris Pratt breaks through that wall,
ha, ha, ha.
whereas Ganondorf has plenty of speaking roles, so we're gonna get Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson playing as Ganondorf in the Ganondorf origin story that is going to be titled "The Legend of Zelda: Dark Origins." Not a punny name, just an actual good Origins movie name.
That's not bad. Yeah.
That's the most generic movie title.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. He is known as the Prince of Thieves, but there's already a Robin Hood Prince of Thieves.
There sure is.
Yeah. So
that's solid. Like if Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is going to play anyone from the Legend of Zelda universe, it's obviously Ganondorf. And can we all take a minute to appreciate Andrew's The Rock impression before we move on, because he's done it a few times and we've left it uncommented on.
Link, I have the Triforce of Power.
Listeners at home, you couldn't see how high Andrew's eyebrow was for the first half of that impression before he lowered it, knowing this is an audio format.
It's how he gets into character, Todd.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't know if I can finish this out of the
my
bit.
God.
I'm
You have to,
dying.
Matt. You are
Yeah.
contractually obligated to finish every
Oh my
episode
God.
of Debate This that you start.
Much like a game of Jumanji, I'm tied here until somebody wins or loses.
Well, in the jungle, you must wait until the dice read 5 or 8, Matt.
God. Damn, guys.
I told you, arms race.
Oh.
Let's keep going.
Yeah,
Let's keep pushing.
Let's just move on. So we have our movie, and we have the role The Rock is going to play in the movie. Please explain to me how you think we're going to adapt the rest of this game for the big screen or slightly less big screen if it comes to streaming. That's all this question is. Just the whole flesh out the rest of the movie with your The Rock casting. Matt.
Okay, Kyle.
Todd, please leave it, or whoever edits this, please leave in that pregnant pause before I kick it over to Matt.
Okay, so first off, this is coming directly to Amazon Prime. Second off, the movie opens.
Let's get that out of the way right out of the gate. This is an Amazon Prime venture.
Good to set that up front.
The movie opens on a staticky computer screen. We see the words "Customize World" highlight on the screen, and we flash to the customization menu from Civ 1. Then we cut to a modernization of the opening cinematic from Civ 1 with the voiceover. It's Morgan Freeman. I don't do a good Morgan Freeman. I'm not going to try, but it's Morgan Freeman.
Coward.
In the beginning, the earth was without form and void, but the sun shone upon the sleeping earth, and deep inside the brittle crust, massive forces waited to be unleashed. Then the word Roman types its way across the screen, and we cut to 4000 BC, where The Rock sits upon a small stone throne, the leader of a 10,000 person civilization. Okay, so now that we've gotten the video game references out of the way, it's time for the real badassery to begin. Because again, this is gonna be like Rampage, or like if any of you guys saw the Jungle Cruise movie, it's gonna be kind of like Jungle Cruise, where we're getting the Easter eggs out of the way, and then we're just doing a Rock movie. So here's where we do a Rock movie. The Rock must expand his civilization, but we can't cram 4,400 years of history into a 92-minute flick. So it's time to introduce the Forest of Expansion.
Oh boy.
While The Rock is leading a group of shirtless soldiers in a sweaty forest exploration, he stumbles upon an ancient gateway. Mm-hmm. He walks through the stone arch and is greeted by 5 stone statues known as the High Council, who explain to him that he stands amongst a magical forest of expansion full of technology trees. Leaders who travel to this land can commune with a technology tree to advance their civilization. The Rock touches one of the trees and has a divine moment of intervention. He runs from the forest to find his soldiers no longer shirtless and now wearing bronze armor.
But equally sweaty?
Still sweaty. Everyone's still sweaty.
Okay.
But when The Rock walks out of the gateway, he's also wearing bronze armor because he's advanced his civilization forward in time.
He's in the Bronze Age.
Exactly. So The Rock must use his new knowledge to
Todd.
advance his civilization while defending the Forest of Expansion from other leaders looking for world domination.
I gotta say, look,
I was real worried about how Matt was gonna adapt Civilization to a movie.
There's
Solid.
not 1 inch of me that doesn't see this movie happening tomorrow. This is great. I can see this movie happening right now. I see every scene of it.
Yeah, same. Especially knowing it's an Amazon Prime attempt.
Oh, yeah.
Quick question before we move on, and it's not, the answer isn't super important. Does he go into the forest of technology trees knowing how to take advantage of them, to use them, or is it just a very like, what is this? And he touches something, he's in the Bronze Age, and he's like, and his eyebrow gets real high, and he's like, hell yeah.
You got it, Kyle. It's the latter, baby. So my thought for this, right, is that like you have the Rock civilization, which is Rome.
Not Polynesian Samoa, like his ethnicity, to match his ethnicity. No. Well, first off, in the first Civ game, there weren't any Polynesian Samoan civilizations to start with. Anyway, he's got his civilization that he's trying to advance, but other civilizations keep showing up and they like fight, because I've never played a Civ game, but I assume that's what it's like. And so the thing is that all of the civilizations aren't all in the Bronze Age together. It gets really timey-wimey because you have civilizations that have hoarded a technology.
It's an actual
tree.
Arms race.
Yeah, This
Not
ain't
a
a scene, Kyle. It's a goddamn arms race.
Ever since Matt said pun arms race, I've been thinking how I'm going to get this ain't a scene in there. So good. Ding. We did it.
Yep. So that's what we're doing. Let me remind you again, M. Night Shyamalan's Sid Meier's Civilization.
Yep. Amazing.
I'm waiting for the M. Night Shyamalan part, but I'm assuming it's going to come when we get to the twist ending.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I'm afraid to do this. Andrew.
What?
Tell us about your movie.
Why would you think that I've got more? That's crazy.
Because Kirby is an actual endless pit of suffering and devouring. It's established canon of this podcast.
Kirby Right Back At Ya is a fantastic children's cartoon full of wholesome characters and a somewhat strangely Creole sounding King Dedede. There's nothing more than that. Inexplicably Creole.
Well, you gotta give it all that you got. Take your very best shot. He'll send it right back at you.
Now, to segue, while this does share the name of the animated series, Kirby Right Back At Ya, this movie will actually be an adaptation of everyone's favorite and 100% agreed upon best Kirby game, 1996's Kirby Superstar.
Do the different Kirby games have vastly different plots that you needed
Great
to
question,
make that
Kyle.
distinction?
Yes.
Okay.
They do. Kirby lore is insanity. I say with eyes wide open. Now, pulling in Kirby Superstar, this is how you get the parents. Kids will go to see the voice from, as I mentioned, from Maui, from Moana, flying across the galaxy, sucking up bad guys, and dancing to their favorite TikTok songs. And parents are going to go to see Kirby and Meta Knight's epic sword battle from The End of Revenge of Meta Knight. If I were a parent, that's what I would do. I assume everyone's in me.
We established at the top of this episode, the reason everyone's coming to see this movie is because The Rock's in it.
Yeah, it's fair. So because Kirby Superstar is a collection of smaller, unrelated Kirby games, we're going to frame the majority of the movie around the last kind of climactic story, Milky Way Wishes. Did any of you guys ever play Kirby Superstar?
Loved Kirby Superstar.
Okay.
I'm excited for
This is
you
not falling on complete deaf ears.
I don't know that I pulled any plot out of it, besides Kirby's got to stop the thing.
There is a surprising amount of plot, especially in Milky Way Wishes.
It's good. I want to hear from Andrew, though, at some point, what Kirby's favorite quotes are that The Rock will say in this movie from that game.
You got it. So the story finds Kirby at the center of a never-ending war between the sun and the moon for galactic dominance. 100% accurate. A cute little pink ball named Marks, who looks like Kirby, just has like bigger boots and a little jester's hat. He's got big googly eyes. Go ahead, Google him.
Yeah, it's the where you get the beam or the like sparkly whip.
Yes,
weapon.
he's also in Smash Brothers Ultimate. That one's for Matt. He's who you fight. He's who you fight in Smash Brothers Ultimate. So he tells Kirby to gather the star power from the nearby planets to summon the comet Nova. Now, when you summon Nova, you will get whoever summons Nova will get one wish. So Kirby is going to summon Nova to wish that the sun and moon stop fighting so that they can have day and night and people can go to sleep and not be insane. So Kirby sets off, and thus begins our story. But because this is a kids movie, we've got to be constantly introducing new stimuli. There is no way that this movie is going to play on an unending loop across suburban family homes across America if the colors and sounds don't dramatically shift every 13 or 14 minutes. So this is where the other games from Kirby Superstar comes in. For example, once Kirby lands on the forest planet Floria, he'll have to, very inspired names, he'll have to will have to face off against Wispy Woods, at which point it will cut to the part of Spring Breeze, which is the original Kirby's Dream Land, when Kirby fights Wispy the first time. Also, I should note that Wispy Woods will be voiced by James Corden, so we can, at this point, get our... I know. We got to do it. We got to get our studio-mandated pop song.
Yeah, every movie is now contractually obligated to jam James Corden in there.
It's the way it works. I don't
well,
make
it's
the
either
rules.
James Corden or Chris Pratt. Choose one.
Yeah.
I choose James Corden.
Yeah.
James Corden.
They both have blackmail on some studio head. It's one or the other.
James knows where the bodies are buried. So in this case, James as Wispy Woods will sing "Stay" by Justin Bieber and the Kid Laroi. But it's worse because it's going to be called "Sway," which sucks.
Oh, why are you doing this?
Yeah, it sucks. I hate it.
It's not Andrew's choice. It's the studio's.
It's look. I'm a figurehead.
Wait,
like,
stop.
I'm an intermediary.
Why on earth, Andrew Henderson, would you choose that song instead of like Timber?
Todd raises a really valid point.
Because the kids don't know Timber.
I bet they super would.
It's a good question. It's a great question. The kids don't know Timber. The kids know Stay because it's on the TikTok.
That does make sense. I guess this is what happens when you sign the blood contract with Illumination.
Yes. Yes. Also, future episode coming, what will be the TikTok song that is sung in the Mario movie? Because I guarantee you there will be a TikTok song sung in the Mario movie.
When the pen drags along the signature line, it just sounds like screaming.
Yeah, you get a nosebleed and you just hear circus music. So another example would be while Kirby is journeying through the cavernous planet Cavius. It's
got to be Cavius.
It's got to be Cavius. He'll be ambushed by the silhouetted image of the admittedly very racist Wham Bam Rock. Go ahead and look up Wham Bam Rock. You're going to notice two things. One, very racist. Two, it's a head and hands. He's a head and hands.
Oh, it is the head and hands.
Yeah.
Ooh,
everyone's got the head and hands.
It's both those
You gotta
things.
have a head and hands.
Yep.
It's a little problematic.
Yeah, he's got big lips. Big, unfortunate lips. So, as before, this is going to trigger another flashback, this time pulled from The Great Cave Offensive, my personal favorite. And anyone who's played Kirby Superstar, this is the one where you collected all the treasures,
so good.
AKA the first game I guarantee you've ever 100%ed it.
Mm-hmm. Wham Bam Rock existed up through as recently as 2017. Feels like we should have known better.
I think that's because they remade Superstar.
Doesn't change it.
Well, and I think a lot of these appeared in one of the later ones, one of the 3DS ones. Doesn't matter. So we see a gigantic fist slams down to the ground as the visage of this massive head and hands appears in the distant darkness. Kirby leaps out of the way just in time to dodge a boulder dropping from above, and then he sucks up that same boulder and spits it out into the abyss toward the big old face. Racist face. Wham Bam Rock slams down more fists with blinding speed. Kirby is able to read all his patterns in an instant. Kirby sees his window and fires another half-digested rock back at the monster and takes the left side of its mouth clean off. In the ensuing rumble, Kirby literally takes its face off. The monster panics and disappears into the darkness. Kirby heads back to lug his minecart that's now literally overflowing with treasures, and we watch as he makes the long, slow trek back up to the surface with all his findings. And at this point, we're happy for him, because it's clear that Kirby put in the work. He put in the hours. And at this point, we're so invested in his struggle that it's like we are taking what's ours.
Did you get all the lyrics in there? Did you do all of them?
We'll see.
I mean, there's not any more than that. It's just those words in different order.
We'll just have to find out later. So that's Kirby Superstar.
There are more lyrics Andrew has to pull from, and I'm certain prompt 3 will get us.
You guys can't see my Google Chrome history.
Andrew, to revisit my
Todd.
favorite Kirby quotes. I don't know what your favorite Kirby quotes are. I have 3 that I can think of that I've ever heard.
I was way too busy shoehorning in the lyrics from Face Off. Also, I shoehorned in Face Off. You guys didn't notice that I shoehorned in the actual title of the song, Face Off.
Missed that.
That's the chorus.
Kirby's going to have a hard time being the protagonist when he never says anything. Aside from, he says hi in Smash Brothers. Yeah. He also says Pikachu. He says Falcon Punch, and he says PK Fire. And those are the only 4 words I can think of.
Do you know what character also never talked until they had their own animated movie? It's Pikachu. Hollywood figured that one out.
That was Ryan Reynolds.
Man,
And
Todd,
this is The Rock.
how did it feel to get dunked on that hard?
No, I knew that answer because I referenced Pikachu later in my notes. Also, they already said that Chris Pratt's going to get to talk as a very average Mario voice.
Hey, everybody, it's me, Mario.
Mario.
I got a meatball hoagie down in the kitchen. Y'all want some? Yeah,
Let's go stop Bowser.
Yeah, fuck it, whatever.
Will he say Mario? Is that what we...
No.
It's me, Mario.
It's Mario. Hey, Luigi and Mario.
Luigi. These two guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch a TikTok.
Hey guys,
save
we
us-
can't. This
save
is
us
the
I got
episode
this
of the
bit.
podcast
Yeah,
anymore.
I got
We
you.
can't do this.
All right, so Kyle, it seems like we're getting Matt's realistic, grindy through the stages of man's evolution, and Andrew's not that. And so I want to present you something that slides down the middle as a good option.
Yuck.
And so, yeah, he's very oily, Andrew. We cannot be surprised about the amount of
Ding.
sliding here. Okay, so much like X-Men First Class was originally meant to be the Magneto origin story, and like, let's just be real, anything that Magneto was in that movie were like the best parts of that movie. This like Dark Origins Ganondorf story.
Brief
yeah,
aside, the scene where he goes to Argentina to kill those two Nazis.
incredible.
Amazing.
Incredible. Throws the knife, stabs the dude's hand, pulls the knife out, throws the knife, gets the knife back, stabs it back into the dude's hand. Awesome.
Amazing.
Just
End
wanna watch
aside. Continue
that
answering the
scene
question.
over and over again. Yeah, so this is going to focus on Ganondorf Dragmire. Did you know his last name is Dragmire? That's a
What?
real thing.
It's not Dorf. It's not first name Ganon, last name Dorf. 'Cause that's
No.
what I assumed forever.
no.
Wait, where can you cite that
Yes,
Dagmire?
I can
Yeah.
stand by. I looked it
Is
up.
this from an Archie comic?
No, it's not from an Archie comic.
Furthermore, what's the etymology of Dagmire? Where's that come from?
It feels real wrong.
A Western manual of A Link to the Past for Super Nintendo addressed him in his full name, Ganondorf Dragmire.
He got it on the instruction booklet. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
that's where you
all
find
right.
it.
All right.
So his origin story, though it is going to run along the timeline of Zelda and Link, with Link becoming the hero of time, this movie, or that movie, is obviously just going to ride off of the wave of success that this sets up. So we're going to get the basic lore of Hyrule and the Triforce of Power, Wisdom, and Courage, and choosing their heroes in the intro. Now, this intro is going to be a lot like if you think of how Black Panther's intro showed all the tribes and gave you a really good foundation with this cool cinematic. We're gonna do that. It's also going to detail how there's the reincarnations of the Demon King and the Goddess and the Chosen Hero, but it's going to follow Ganondorf. It'll probably do something cool like the voiceover will be like, the spirit of the goddess and her chosen hero, destined to protect Hyrule from the Demon King, are reborn when needed most. And then there'll be like a pregnant pause, and it'll be like, this story, however, follows a soul, destined for a path much more complicated and dark, or something. I don't know. That's what I think we're getting with. Anyway,
Are you suggesting this is The Legend of Zelda's Wicked? Is that what you're doing here?
I think I am suggesting this is The Legend of Zelda's Wicked now that you've
He
said
didn't
that.
fully know that until you said it.
Until
but
I
now
said
that's
it,
what
it is,
did.
yeah.
He's like, oh
Okay.
yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm doing. Yeah.
And so here's where we have Ganondorf lore, because like there's Ganondorf lore. So this story is going to follow Ganondorf as he's born, because he's born as the sole male that once every 100 years a male is born to the female tribe of Gerudos. Like, I think that most people probably know something along that line. However, as a child, he was raised by those twin witches, Twinrova.
Yeah.
You fight them in Ocarina of Time. I forget, one's like Koru and Kotake are their names, I think.
Kotake. Yeah, Kotake.
Kotake,
Koame, Koame, Kotake.
There it is. Yeah, so
I hate
Twinrova.
myself.
I'm so proud of you.
Andrew's gonna give himself a wedgie when this is done.
And so, like, as a child, they're like manipulating this darkness within him, and then he's guided by the Gerudo throne to his destiny while surviving this like cruel punishments of his mothers and mistreatment of his people by the Hylians. Is that how you pronounce the Hylians? Hylians.
Like helicopter.
Oh, you asshole.
Hylians. Okay, so we have this young king, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, as he establishes this like uneasy peace between his people and the Hylians through these feats of strength and the power of his people. Ganondorf establishes his place in the good graces of the King of Hyrule, and steals his opportunity to venture into the spooky sacred realm. Now, it's important that he ventures into the spooky sacred realm because Link is the one that ultimately opened up that pathway, and so he's going to sneak on in there, and he returns with the Triforce of Power, and he's this more capable person. He's like, I'm going to be the king of Hyrule, and I'm going to give my people the stronger lot in life. So it's this origin story where he's trying to do right by his people, but then he gets tempted by the dark powers of the sacred realm, right? And the Triforce of Power. And so ultimately this movie will end following that 7-year period where Link is asleep and Ganondorf takes control of the throne of Hyrule with the Triforce of Power. And the ending cinematic is going to be him sitting on the throne with this impossibly large, The Rock-sized greatsword that like only The Rock could pick up. And he's sitting there with the sword. And then it shows this like inevitable foreshadowing of the Hero of Time movie that is going to have to take place because, again, this movie will just be so successful because anything you put The Rock in just like makes money.
That's what we're doing here
That's
today.
the conceit of the whole.
Yeah.
May I counter that, though, with G.I. Joe Retaliation?
I bet you it at least broke even.
I would love to like. There's a universe where they didn't cast The Rock in that, and it's was
worse.
a hot turd. And that in this universe, we've heard of it and are talking.
And
about
I don't know when Retaliation came out, but now we're in a date and time where movies just go to streaming, and like it's fine. They know they're not going to make money in the theaters. They don't need to. They go to streaming because that's just reoccurring money.
It made 3 times its money.
No,
Its budget.
Wow.
That's incredible. I would have
Wow.
guessed not that.
It made $375 million worldwide, and its budget was about $150 million.
Oh my God.
So twice its budget.
So some may call this the G.I. Joe of the video game world.
Please continue.
Yeah, just put The Rock in it. He's Ganondorf. It's gonna be him live action doing this, and I think it's gonna work really, really well.
So this is the storyline of Ocarina of Time, but while Link is asleep. Yes,
I think we're gonna see that.
Okay.
It's mostly going to be his like child to early adult origin, showing him like establishing his people and working with the Hylians, and then taking power once like because the whole thing is, once every 100 years there's a person, blah blah blah, and like there's actually a dark demon king that like his
name is Demise. Yeah,
his name is Demise. Yep.
Skyward Sword introduces that.
Yeah.
And so like his like darkness is within Ganondorf. So I think we're gonna see this like troubled rising to power The Rock Johnson as he's like
Okay.
as he's like, I can do good for my people, but also there's a darkness because that Triforce of Power that I'm gonna get from the sacred realm.
Yeah. Now, how are you going to establish the audience feeling some sort of like sympathy for the character when he does a genocide to the Zoras by putting them in a new ice age? How are you going to make them...
that's going to happen off camera.
I think that's
sense.
gonna happen either off camera, or there will at some point be a montage showing all the happenings of that 7 years. I think that's the way that has to happen.
Todd, 2
Yes.
questions. Question 1, who plays young Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson? Question 2, at what age do you start using real life Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as an aged down CGI version? Because
Can I make a suggestion for the first one? Which
I've got answers for both, but Kyle, you go ahead because you might be saying the things I'm gonna say.
my question was, are you going to have a similar effect to what they did in the first Captain America movie, where you just put
100%.
you just put the Rock's
Yes.
face on a very skinny body?
Yeah, it is a skinny-faced baby Rock. It is, 100%. The Rock as like a 12-year-old, as a 15-year-old, as a 16-year-old, it's still him. It's still him.
It's
Oh,
just
no.
It's just
younger.
deep faked onto a skinny body.
Yeah,
Amazing.
Oh,
If they can,
I don't like
if they can de-age and age all these people in all these movies now, I mean, the technology's there.
We just got a computer generated, completely fake Mark Hamill in Book of Boba Fett. We can do it with The Rock. We can make a skinny Rock for 2 scenes. Why not?
I want to make it clear, the only time that The Rock's face will not be on the character Ganondorf is maybe, and I will say this maybe, when he is baby Ganondorf. When he is baby Ganondorf who is born, that is the only time maybe, and I'm not even counting that out. There's a good chance this baby is a CGI'd rock face on a baby.
God, I hate that so much.
Yeah, it's really sucks.
Tell me they wouldn't
really
do it.
Sucks.
Tell me they wouldn't do it.
I can't tell you. I want so desperately to tell you that, and I can't.
I feel as confident that they would do that as they would put James Corden in a Kirby movie where he stars as Wispy Woods. So
yeah, by the time he does become like king of his people, it's full on rock. That is upside down triangle Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Okay. So, we got one last question for you guys before we figure out which of these movies is actually the one The Rock is talking about. With the success of the MCU, we have to assume that whatever studio is putting this project out is doing so with a cinematic universe of sorts in mind. So, what existing video game movie that came out in the last so many years will a hastily shot post-credits scene attach to this project, thus making our blank cinematic universe? Matt.
Okay, Kyle, so I gave you the premise of the movie, and I think that we all understand it. It's a timey-wimey, socio-political romp through this new world of evolving civilizations. But again, this is like, we're doing this at a tight 92 with the post-credit scene. So like, we're moving here. And we gotta zoom through a
decision
lot of
wildly unpopular with Matt, by the way.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I'd make this a trilogy, but we don't need to get into that today. What I'm saying is we're moving through history, and the whole movie reaches its climax as The Rock's capital city of Rome is expanding its empire in the 15th century. Now, this history is going to be a little revisionist. We're going to, the Roman Empire, it's a rock movie, whatever. After defeating the antagonist nation of Russia, because Russia, The Rock settles into his stone throne in a shot mirroring the opening sequence of the movie. As he sinks back into his chair, a hooded man swings through the open window behind him. The figure approaches The Rock and touches his temple, saying, "Mr. The Rock, my name is Ezio. It's time to come home." And we flash back to 2043, where Michael Fassbender flips some switches on the Animus, and we see The Rock's polished, sweaty body lowered by the mechanical arm as his eyes flash open, and we fade to title screen. M. Night Shyamalan's Sid Meier's Civilization, featuring The Rock and Michael Fassbender as that guy from 2016's Assassin's Creed movie.
Thank you for clarifying, because nobody saw 2016's Assassin's Creed.
No, like in earnest, did any of you see that movie?
No,
I saw it.
Of course,
I saw the words Michael Fassbender's Assassin's Creed in our show notes, and like it took me until Matt was talking through it for me to realize that he was not, in fact, talking about the Jake Gyllenhaal Assassin's Creed or Prince of Persia movie.
The Prince of Persia.
Shit! Yeah.
Here's a thought: the Assassin's Creed lore might rival the Five Nights at Freddy's lore in being the most banana sandwich. They did not plan it 2 games in a head lore. Because there's like some deep lore in Assassin's Creed games.
Ever since the ancient god Athena stabbed Kristen Bell in the chest, I was done.
Now, was that in Five Nights at Freddy's, or was that in Assassin's Creed?
Otherwise known as Old Man Consequences.
Is that Purple Man?
Listen, the 2016 Assassin's Creed movie is awful. It is so bad. But a Michael Fassbender rock vehicle puts butts in seats, and we can revive it. So we're doing a full, clean slate revival of the Michael Fassbender Assassin's Creed movie. All of the stuff from 2016, questionable canon. We're getting a new Assassin's Creed movie after M. Night Shyamalan's Sid Meier's Civilization, featuring The Rock and Michael Fassbender.
Much like any M. Night Shyamalan movie, I have one major loose end here that I don't feel got tied up.
Sure.
Why did M. Night Shyamalan have to direct this?
I honestly don't really remember how I got to that point in the joke.
Fair enough.
Did.
He wanted the joke M. Night Shyamalan's
Civilization.
Sid Meier's
Got it.
Civilization. Yeah.
Well, so really so we got there from one other thing, and I wasn't going to reveal my true secret, but I will. The joke that started this was a beach that makes you old. Coming this summer, a rock that makes you blank. And I was like, what can I fit in that blank?
Got it.
Gotcha.
And what I landed on was imperialism. Walk it back.
Got it.
Fantastic.
That was
Thank
your
you for
snake in the
explaining.
boots.
Andrew,
Yeah, that was-
set up your cinematic universe for us.
Sure. Okay. So Milky Way Wishes in Kirby Superstar ends with Kirby collecting all the star power and summoning Nova to make a wish to end the Sun and Moon's fight. So that's the big climax of our movie. The big third act reveal is that, of course, Marx was the bad guy all along, and it tricked Kirby into summoning Nova. And there's this scene where he pushes Kirby out of the way, and he says, "I wish to rule over Popstar." And Marx then gets turned into an eldritch horror named Nightmare, and Kirby and Nightmare battle it out on the surface of Popstar, while Kirby rides a sweet Tesla made of stars.
I forgot that his planet was named Popstar.
Yeah.
So just this moment.
Yeah, Popstar, it's a little star.
Yep.
Kirby yeets Marx clear out of Popstar's orbit, and Marx careens straight into Nova, exploding the comet and thus killing them both instantly. Roll credits. So, post-credit scene, we hear a voice saying, "Marx, you complete moron! You wait until the hero is completely restrained before you reveal the big evil plan." This, of course, is Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik from the Paramount Sonic movies. Yeah. My Jim Carrey is not as good as my Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson somehow. So he goes on. "Desecration, defamation. It's all I have to show for my evil misdeeds these past 2 years. Okay, Ivo, if you want to bring it to the masses, you're going to have to put boots to..." And then he looks directly at the camera. "Butts?" Those are more lines from the Face-Off. So.
Oh, okay.
Boots to butts is a line.
Well,
that's
it's boots to
amazing.
asses, but it's a kid's movie, and the joke was that he doesn't say asses, and everybody would erupt in laughter. Anyway, the camera swings around, and we see a CG animated Metal Sonic standing right next to him, arms crossed. We zoom into his face, and then Ivo Robotnik says, "Face to face. Now we escalating." Because
That's another.
I got all the lyrics from
You
the
got all
song.
the lyrics. Yeah. You
Check the
did
box. We did it. Kirby's hungry. Kirby stays hungry, but he devours.
He devours. Yeah, I love it.
Did you guys remember when I did that joke 45 minutes
Yeah.
ago?
We sure do. Todd, give us your cinematic universe so we can take a quick break and reset.
Easy. Okay, so the conclusion of this movie, we have the Dwayne sitting on the Hyrule throne high up in his tower.
How long were you sitting on Dwayne Todd?
I typed it out.
He really buried the lead with Dwayne.
Wow.
I typed it out a long time ago, and I was like, oh, I got to make sure I say that. Anyway, sitting on the Hyrule throne high up in this tower, Triforce of power in hand, darkness just radiating from him because he's been fully drawn to this like dark path. The last scene of this movie, it pans up a pair of boots that have just hopped off of a horse outside the twisted remains of the castle, panning up a drawn blade of a sword, revealing the hilt of the Master Sword, obviously, and this foreshadows Link's showdown with Ganondorf. Credits roll. However, the post-credits stinger, we find Tim Goodman, who, if you remember, is the main character of Detective Pikachu, sitting with Pikachu, talking about their future adventures and all the Pokemon crimes that they've solved. Just then, pixelated cracks.
Pokemon crimes.
Yeah. If you want an example of Pokemon crimes, they're a lot like Toad crimes. Arson is one of them. Anyway, they're talking about all the Pokemon crimes they've solved. Just then, pixelated cracks in the sky open up before a white glove flies towards them and snatches them both up. The next thing that we see is a wall-mounted chalkboard where a second, twitchier hand is scratching off a drawing of Pikachu before dragging its erratic finger past a crossed-off Mario and Luigi towards a picture of who we know as now Dwayne before rapidly tapping on that picture. We hear the N64 master hand laugh as the screen goes dark, and we hear the Smash Ultimate transition noise. And that's the end cut because we are setting up the Smash cinematic universe. We're going all in on it. And honestly, the things that Andrew said can also exist in this universe
Weren't we
too,
supposed
I
to
suppose.
pick an existing
He
movie?
did. Pikachu.
Pikachu.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Detective
You're setting
Pikachu.
up got it. Okay.
The Smash Ultimate transition noise, not entirely different from the debate this transition noise.
It's different.
Legally, we have to claim it's different.
Legally
It is
distinct
different.
from the debate
Yeah.
this transition noise.
It's like an Ice Baby kind of situation.
Todd, logistics question.
Yeah.
So I feel like I don't need to remind you that the Detective Pikachu movie ends, and spoilers if you haven't seen it, with the reveal that Pikachu was his dad all along. And
No, it's Ryan Reynolds. It's different.
Yeah, so like when they get warped to the Smash Brothers universe, is this before or after Tim Goodman finds out that Pikachu is also his dad? Does he know he is going to a Mortal Kombat death fight with his dad, or is it just his good buddy Pikachu?
I think it means more. So if you didn't watch the movie, you wouldn't know. You would just know this is Pikachu and Trainer if you didn't watch the movie and have the context there. If you have done the homework and watched it, then you know that this is his dad. He knows it's his dad, and he's more invested in this Mortal Kombat style tournament.
I think Todd is saying the next movie will have the full Pikachu is his dad relationship, but this end credits scene is not going to address that at all, because why
No.
would?
You're implying that Tim Goodman opted to turn his dad back into a Pikachu, yes?
Oh, see, here's the thing. I never watched all of Detective Pikachu. I fell asleep
there it
before the
is.
ending. I am on the assumption that, yes, he has turned him back into a Pikachu because I thought that's how it ended. So we all learned a little bit about this today.
Surprisingly does not end that way, but fine.
Even better. Great. So my answer stands. Forget what I said.
Cool.
Yes to all things that work in my favor.
Now we escalating.
Father and dad fight championship. It's great. Or father-son.
With that, we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will answer our super secret bonus question, which is, there's another actor slash comedian who puts butts in seats, and fortunately for us and our movie, he is seemingly really great friends with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. You can see them together in movies such as both new Jumanji movies, Fast and the Furious, Hobbs and Shaw, and Central Intelligence, as well as upcoming movie, the DC Pets, Super Pets movie, where they are playing two DC Super Pets together. I am, of course, talking about actor-comedian Kevin Hart. So when we come back, I will have you tell me how you are going to ram jam Kevin Hart into the movie you have pitched to me today.
It's about drive, it's about power. We stay hungry, we devour. Put in the work, put in the hours, and take what's ours. Like in some morning in my veins, my culture banging with strength.
All right, we are back, and we are going to hear everyone's answers to the super secret bonus question, which is, ram jam Kevin Hart into your The Rock video game vehicle. Matt, kick us off.
Yeah, Kyle. So, longtime fans of the Civilization franchise might notice one prominent Civilization meme that I have yet to mention. Now, the thing is for this Rock movie, we need The Rock to have a fun, plucky sidekick. It's got to happen, Kyle. And we don't want to bring anybody in for this role. We want to bring in Kevin Hart for this role. But the thing is, this particular meme from Civilization, not exactly a role we can just throw Kevin Hart in this movie. It's bad.
I
we can't do that.
the meme. I'm pretty sure I know the meme of which you're referencing, and I'm really curious where you're going with this, Matt. Because
Yeah. So, Kyle, we got to make sure that this role is not problematic. So we're going to change the name, and instead of famous Civilization meme Nuclear Gandhi, Kevin Hart will be portraying The Rock's fun neighboring civilization leader who helps The Rock conquer the rest of the world, Gandhi. Not Gandhi, Kyle. Gandhi. Spelled like candy,
Wow.
but with a G.
You almost couldn't finish that.
go on.
No, that's it.
Amazing.
I've never seen this meme before.
So the meme comes from the first Civilization.
God.
It's Civ 2.
Civ 2, where Gandhi was supposed to have a really low starts a war score, whatever that aggression score, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And he was supposed to have an aggression score of 2, but the programmer punched in 12 instead, which is 2 points higher than the highest aggression score you should be able to have of 10. So Gandhi, as soon as he the AI Gandhi, as soon as it unlocks nukes, would just start popping nukes off.
That's
no matter what.
It's really funny.
Yeah.
And in later games they kind of nod to that.
And then later games they kept
becomes
it
a
going
thing.
because it is very funny that Gandhi is
so funny.
a very aggressive character.
God, you can't get enough of them nukes, baby.
Oh man.
Yeah. So in this movie, Kevin Hart, Gandhi. We can call him John Gandhi if that makes it better.
John Gandhi.
It kind of does.
It kind
A little
of does.
bit.
There it is. Player character John Gandhi. Kevin Hart, 2023.
Amazing. Andrew,
Yeah.
who's Kevin Hart going to be in the Kirby universe?
I mean, this is an easy answer. Kevin Hart is Dwayne Johnson's best bud. Waddle Dee is Kirby's best bud.
Good.
Let's make Kevin Hart Waddle Dee. And I love the idea of like when Waddle Dee gets his Cyclops powers or with it's beam power, but he looks like a little Cyclops. So I just love the idea of like Kevin Hart freaking out because a giant laser beam is coming from his one eye, you know? Or like we'll give him a little umbrella, be like, look at me. Hey, like,
Is that how Kevin Hart sounds?
look at me.
Kevin Hart played by Chris Pratt playing Mario.
Hey, look at me.
That's better than
This
any
is different.
Kevin Hart impression Andrew could have done.
I refuse to try to do a Kevin Hart impression.
I know that we already talked about this, but this is one more time where I want to see Kevin Hart's face superimposed on Waddle Dee.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's just one big eye, so
Yeah.
I would be remiss if I didn't announce the other casting choices that we've made, because obviously the two other prolific characters in the Kirby canon are, of course, King Dedede and Meta Knight. King Dedede, we've already mentioned, inexplicably Creole, so we're gonna give him really the only voice actor we know, which is, of course, political consultant James the Ragin' Cajun Carvel.
Well, he's going to live forever.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Assuming that he's still alive. I do not know if he's still alive.
They won't even need to write lines for him. They'll just say,
Yeah,
hey,
they'll just
here's
be
what
like-
you say, an insult.
Yeah.
This is another case where like I recognize this is not a Cajun man,
Sure.
but I had Mr. Worldwide himself, Pitbull, as
Oh, that'd
King
be fun,
Dedede.
too. I love
The
that.
whole time you were talking about it.
Man.
Yeah, I mean that feels like the stunt cast. You know, like all these Illumination movies need like a stunt cast.
Yeah.
Like Zendaya is Michi and LeBron James was in one of those
Yeah.
too. You know.
Yeah. So that the trailer can say, and introducing
Yep.
James Carville.
Yeah, yeah. James the Raging Cajun Carvel. The other one, the fun one, the actor that should definitely not be, that is too good to be there. We're gonna bring in Tony Dalton for Meta Knight. You may remember Tony Dalton as Jack in the Hawkeye show.
Oh my
He was,
yeah.
he was Jack Duquesne, the swordsman in the Hawkeye show. And I think in that case, we do need to give Meta Knight a little like curly Q mustache.
Curly and a monologue.
Yeah.
Todd, who's Kevin Hart going to be in Ganondorf? I forget the name.
I think it was
That's
Dwayne
Dwayne Yeah, I was thinking of
Dwayne
Dwayne.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as soon as news broke that Dwayne The Rock, Mr. Johnson, would be bringing the land of Hyrule to the big screen, obviously people were saying, well, who's Kevin Hart going to play? And a lot of the rumors around the internet said Kevin Hart is Tingle. A lot of people wanted it. Hollywood demanded it. However, like the whole bit with Kevin Hart is that he's small and he's annoying, and you really just want him to go away and shut up. So I think he's going to play Navi. He's going to play as Navi. Kevin Hart is Navi. I think that just fits so right.
Oh, that
And,
is
like,
really good, actually.
Just I also can't do a Kevin Hart impression, but just him going, "Hey, listen, hey,
It's me, Navi.
listen, hey, it's me, Navi, hey."
Why has that become our go-to? We can't do an impersonation of this person, so we'll do this
It's safe.
instead.
It's a
It's that
TikTok
safe.
thing.
It's that fucking guy on TikTok.
Yeah.
I do. I am the voice actor for Vision. Hey, it's me, Vision.
Yeah.
Wanda, baby.
Guys, amazing castings of Kevin Hart. I'm gonna decide which of these movies is getting made, I guess. I didn't do the exact setup that we normally do. Yeah, you get it. You know
something execs.
You know it. We're going to pick the best of the Rock vehicle out of these 3 movies you brought today. So while I think about that, do your closing statements and then we'll go into good vibes. You know the game. Closing statements. Matt, kick us off.
Kyle, my closing statement is simple. Can you smell what M. Night Shyamalan is cooking?
I don't remember if the Rock's tagline is a rhetorical question.
We already did that one. You and me did the call and response.
Okay.
Kyle, I've said it once. I said it twice. This will be the 3rd time I say it. Kirby is about drive, is about power. Kirby stays hungry, he devours.
Here's the big sell of having Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in a Legend of Zelda game. My game gets to keep a PG-13 rating while still letting Dwayne Dorf drop 1 candy ass in battle as he warlock punches Link in his dumb, stupid face.
Oddly aggressive.
My super secret bonus question should have absolutely been describe how The Rock fits a people's elbow into your movie. But we'll do that some other time. Good vibes.
Kirby gets suplex.
Yeah, Kirby does get suplex. I can see Ganondorf and unnamed player character from Civilization also throwing some people's elbows.
Well, that would be a tech tree. They're just like the people's elbow, but it's like a cultural building, like a museum.
Good vibes. Matt, start saying good things about Todd and Andrew, and then the other 2 of you do the same thing.
Andrew, what other good things do I have to say? Man, you snuck Rock's song Face Off by us, and not a single one of us stopped you. Not a single one of us saw it coming. I mean, I can't give more praise than I have already given. That is the hardest I've ever laughed on this stupid podcast that we do.
Yeah.
So, that's that. Todd, I'm really glad that you came to answer 3 with a movie that you've never finished. That's the kind of energy that I aspire to have. And I really enjoyed that. I really like Dwayne Dorf, man. Dwayne Dorf's really good.
Dwayne Dorf's
really good.
And I don't know that I topped that in any of my punnery today. So good job, everyone. I did not expect to show up with the normal Rock movie today, but here I am.
You guys, Todd and Matt, you guys both, honest to God, brought movies that I did not know that I wanted until right now.
Yeah.
Matt's movie is so good and so unabashedly Hollywood. Like, I can see it. I can see the whole thing played out, and there's not a doubt in my mind. Like, it works. It absolutely works. Similarly, Todd, it's the perfect casting. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is Ganondorf. Print money. I don't give a shit. Like, that's all I need to hear. Done.
Yeah.
That's all I need. It was really good. I like the angle of like a Black Adam kind of anti-hero movie. That's really fun. I don't know how you make Ganondorf into an anti-hero unless you like really play on the like he's the victim here, which like he does do a genocide. So
when you look at Ganondorf's intentions, it's about his drive. It's about his power.
There it is.
Yeah, Todd, see, that's what Andrew got the song in there. Todd had the Triforce of Power to build that off of, and did nothing with it.
I didn't want it. I couldn't. Much like the Triforce of Power, I could not harness it properly.
Well, it's about drive, Todd.
Well,
I'm hungry.
If you use it too much, it corrupts you.
Therefore, I devour.
Matt, when you first said that he is the player in the Civ game, I thought this was going to be like The Rock, the big man, The Rock, like hunched over a computer, playing a computer, and then he gets
sucked in.
Yeah, well, there's no discernible reason why The Rock has to be in this, but he's in it.
No, my thought was he's hunched over the computer playing it, but it keeps flashing to him in the game. But he is just a person playing the game. And so, like, when Gandhi fires the nukes at him, it, like, flashes back to him, like, being pissed at the computer. Like, the fuck? Gandhi's nuking me. What you gave is an actual, like, multi-part series that I would watch. I think, not that I wouldn't watch the other thing, but yours actually makes more sense and isn't just a big goofum. Andrew, you brought a big goofum. And so...
I sure did.
As soon as you said The Rock is Kirby, I put in our notes this very bad... adult Patrick Star costume where Patrick Star has abs because he's a wrestler. That's kind of what I imagined. Is Kirby is just it's everyone is a Kirby character except for Kirby, who's the Rock. Right?
The Rock. It's just the Rock in a pink sweatsuit.
It's Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but Dwayne The Rock Johnson is Bob Hoskins.
yeah. I was gonna say it's the Muppet movie. Only the Rock is actually Kirby.
I guess that's a more recent reference, but that's fine.
Yeah. I loved Kirby Superstar a lot, and so anything that could give that movie legs. I don't care who they have to attack. I don't care that it has to have James Corden's name on the poster. I'd watch it. I'd watch it all the day. Like I'd do the whole thing. So I'm in for it. But both of these and all three of these were just good and bad. And I don't know why we did this to ourselves.
I never do.
Look at this. When I floated this idea, when I was like, hey, is this a thing? And we're all collectively like, yes, it's a thing. How could we have known? How could we have known?
Oh, Todd, we knew.
I think we knew.
So now comes the time where I have to pick a winner, and I did not set up a conceit where I get to shift the blame to execs or the powers that be or anything. It's just on me. I get to pick the winner, and it's literally just, I guess, what movie I want to see the most. So
or may I pitch the best joke?
Well, in this case it's both. So Todd and Matt, I'm so sorry. I want to see Dwayne The Rock Johnson as Kirby. That just
I kind of do too. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I also want to go and see that.
Every fancy
my first and last win in 2022.
So Andrew is our winner today. Congratulations, Andrew. Matt and Todd, you brought very, very good entries, and as Andrew said, the most actually likely to happen of these. So very, very good efforts from everyone today, but Andrew is our winner. Andrew, do you have anything to say?
I'm really happy that all of my work paid off. It is.
He's reading the lyrics. I see him.
Yeah. No, I'm not.
You must be stopped.
That is
all
do
about
it
drive
for us today at Debate This. Thank you all for listening. You can follow along with the arguments on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at DebateThisCast, or on our website at debatethiscast.com. If you like our shenanigans and want to support us, please consider telling a friend about the show. Podcasts are very much a word-of-mouth thing. There's no better way to get podcasts more listened to than just telling someone to listen to it. So recommendations are how we survive and how we keep doing what we're doing. Until next time, I'm Kyle Harper.
I'm Matt Sidnight Shamamir's Civil Eroction Cole.
God damn it. That's, to quote Kyle, that's nonsense. It's gobbledygook. I am Andrew, an inexplicably Creole penguin wearing a kimono, Henderson.
And I'm Todd. Tim Allen as Link so he can say, when he swings his sword, Thomas.
And we're saying thanks for debating with us, and if you think we're wrong, you can come fight us behind the swing sets, nerds.